Okay, so I'm about to do a test, a volume test right quick to make sure that I got everything in place before I start my note. This is going to be my note taking um, part of my series. And I'm not really going to put this out anywhere. I'm just going to use this as a tool so that I can edit it and come up with something. Okay. I've been running into a couple of things. Um, four, say 4, 9, 12. Yeah. Okay, so that's the time. Okay. All right. So that's all I want to do. Make sure this is going. Okay. So I'm gonna stop this and then see what it sounds like. Um, well, let me go ahead and open up the video and see if it can record some of the things that I might want to reference later on. Um, I'm gonna still put this out on YouTube, but it's gonna be private so I can listen to it. You know, and not this one, but my video that I actually be doing. Okay, so I have to make sure some things are in place because what I'm doing now, um, I'm trying to make sure some things are in order. Okay, open my video, and I gotta make sure. It's taking a while for load. Whatever the reason. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and go into it. I'm gonna go show my. Um, I have been working on my project, and the part that I've been working on. Let me go ahead and change the date because today is the 4th. Um, and I will say Happy 4th of July. Okay. Um, this is a univote. Sorry, I've been working so hard. So by that shit, I'm all tied up in my conversation. This has been a universal holiday. Okay, for all people in this country. It doesn't matter, right? Where you are, really. Okay, but it does relate to a fact that we all came here or wound up here um, based on some things that I look at it as. I mean, that's going back too far. First, gotta go back up. That shit went back. They went to. Let me see. No, it's July 1st. What the heck am I talking about? So, well, maybe I need to just grab it right here. Okay, and go up. I think if anything else is trying to grab stuff in June, so that's not what I want to do. Okay, copy, bring this down, and let me go ahead and put the space in there just in case. Design, insert, home, um, line spacing at the top would be 412. After here, I don't want most. This is 1.5. Let's be it right there. Okay, separate some things. Really don't have to be that, but just for clarity, it may need that space in between everything. I'm gonna go ahead and just do that and take that space out. I don't need it here, and put the fourth. And I started this about say 9 o'clock a.m. I never really put an end time on it, because it's open ended on my part because I'm working on my own project. So what I'm going to do today is, and let me test this right quick, make sure that the information I'm trying to look at is basically information I need to be working with. Um, Training. Okay, this is training. Okay. But I really want to do, I want to go into this here, and it still seems like it's slowing down for some reason. I may have to go and look at something to find out why it's doing this. Okay, it's coming up now. All right. Because what I'm going to do is I am going to be looking at a lot of facets of my project. So it's going to take a while for me to, do this and do that, do this. So I'll make sure um, this is what I want to do. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go here first. And I just want to see if the information that I'm displaying. Okay, let's see. Hello, hello, hello. This is your man Nicholas Shephard from the Shephard Family Enterprise, Business Administration and Information System Consultants. And what we hear. Okay, so it seems like it's working on my headset, and it seems like it's working on my system too. Okay, so I'm gonna stop my video, and see if I can hear it, and then I will start it back up. So it seems like everything is working. All right, so I actually put it in this folder here. This is my D drive, so it's in this. I put my business notes here. All right, that's what it's going to be under PDM, my project management database series. Okay, and I have these two. These are other levels of training right here, and this is basically training. But since this is just going to be business notes, I'm just going to store it in here. Okay, but this is on my external drive. All right, so in here I put it under my training, my business notes. In all actuality, I should put it on outside, but I have a lot of other things going on here, so I'd rather keep it right here. I can put it in this on this level here, but I want to keep it retained within here. All right, because this business notes is pertaining to everything in this particular series. All right, and then I can do the same thing for each one of these here. It doesn't matter. Okay, I can say PMDS, but everything under this series is PMDS. All right, so let me see where I have it on my D drive. Yeah, it's under the series. Okay, let me move it up there. Okay, move it in here. Okay, all right, so because all that pertains to this. All right, so I'm going to do that. All right, so it's under my PMDA series, so it's under business notes. So that's where I'm gonna put it. It goes into my training, but I'm gonna put it in business notes. I don't want to have to create a whole new format under my profile for notes because I don't want to be moving around like that. Keep a thing in one folder or one compository. Okay, so let's go back to what I was doing. Um, I probably had to break this video up because I don't want it to be too long and take up too much space on my hard drive. Okay. So what I am going to do right now is we're going to go back to my document here, my notes, my project management database um, document, project document, and basically what I was doing is I was trying to figure out some things. Okay, and the problem that I'm having really was not really a problem. It's just that I have to develop a solution. The solution that I'm trying to develop is based on this form. And what I want to do is, and I'm going to try to talk my way through this and then go back and look at it and do some more research about that and then go back and do it again. Under this form, let me go to my document. This is a customer account, bill administrator, operations. Let me see. Okay. It's dealing with this form here. Now, the situation is, which I described previously, and I was working through this. What I was trying to do is whenever a new customer comes in, okay, no matter what it is, no matter what the situation may be, whenever a new customer comes into the fold, we automatically try to create an image of that customer or that potential customer and set it up to a point where we are luring the customer into doing business with us, even if it's just a casual conversation. But we need to put enough information out there to the customer so that they'd be able to contact us back. So the thing is, once the customer, okay, contact us, all right, so I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go back down to go back to the form view. Let's see here. And there's a couple other things I need to do as well, but we're going to stick with this. So once we go back here. There's no project ID. Okay, so what's this? Okay, so okay, yeah, that was for something else. Okay, that was something else. So I'm not gonna worry about that. This on this record here. Okay, so this whole thing here, a customer. Let me go. I got probably go all the way back to the beginning. Customer open part one. Go back to part one. And hopefully it doesn't. Okay, here it is. Okay, so the situation is we had a customer. The customer calls in, and they have a general question. Basically, it's nothing, you know, um, in particular or anything like that. But the situation is they just want some ideals, right? And the ideals that we would like to give them, a solution to their ideal is whether or not they're just having um, a general outreach conversation, gathering information, and the conversation would be something like, okay, I'm calling in. a senior advertisement out there. I know it seems like you've been out there a long time. It's a particular process in one of your projects that you was working on that we particularly interested in. We see that you have solved an algorithm of a problem that we're having, and we'd like to know if we can implement that problem to what we already have available, the logic. Okay, and if you can um, come in and take a look at it and see if you can um, write up some type of business structure or outline so our developers can start coding it. Okay. Um, Usually, when this happens, um, whatever the department is or may be that's requesting this information, um, some of these companies do not have an IT section. They have to outsource their IT issues and bring in uh, a contractor to work on a particular, subject. So, um, since the Shephard Enterprise LLC Business Administration um, and System, Business Administration Information System Consultants has a outreach program, where it's that as we incorporate different tasks, depending on what the task may be, we go out and pull in um, additional contractors and have them work with us on a project under of course, a contracted amount. Okay, so and this is what basically what they're doing to us. So they will say, okay, we need um, something in our marketing department, and we need a website, and we want to direct our new customers to a description list of what our company provides. Okay, pretty simple, but we will utilize that logic, okay, so that there be other facets of that whole concept. All right, but we have to have something in place already on the table. So we put in their information, we put them order number in, so we can get this thing moving. All right, and they may not even want to use us as a tool. Okay, but we just want to make sure that the information that they have mimics what we can do for that company. All right. So what I'm going to do here is um, I'm going to I'm going to close this out. I'm going to open this form back up because let me see. And I don't want to have all the forms open at the same time because they cause a problem. Okay, when you're trying to move one from another. So what happens is that we get this information right here. Okay, and I can do a screenshot of it, but it's no, it's not really necessary. And once we get the information, we submit the information. The information will actually go out to a consultant. Um, then once it goes out to the consultant will contact the customer and then go into form number 2, where they would fill out that information and sign consultant. They put all the information in. There's an introduction that we will utilize, which will push the customer out to our website, make sure all the information that they are searching for is listed in our website, or is there anything that we can do? Or we can push them out to our business blog site. We have open communication. They can ask questions there. And from that, we will develop service tickets to contact the customer or communicate with the customer on an open platform or a closed platform. Okay. And these are questions and answers. Okay. All right. Now, once we have all this information and the consultant um, figure out exactly the direction they want to go, then they will start talking to different facets of their communication network to find out if we can engage in a meeting with some key people. These key people will have a very will have diverse backgrounds, so that nothing will be missed and nothing will be overlooked in this conversation. Okay. All right. So we'll call the person back, and it will be basically either on Skype, conversation, WebEx, and we'd be having a because the person may be in different areas, and to find out exactly what this customer needs. Um, After that information is obtained, um, we will push open part 3. Um, and this particular form will actually initiate some type of ideal where the project is going. All right. Whether it's going to be, um, is it a project that's going to start, or is it something that we need to go out and gather more information about? Okay. Now, the key is the order number. Okay. The order number is very important because that describes the pecking order of that particular business client. All right. So we have the information, and at that particular time, what we would do, we will push. Okay, after we save the record, everything like that, we push the customer accounts administrative request. Now, I'm not going to do that because there's some queries associated with this, um, uh, uh, um, and even the save record. So when we save the record, save it to this table, all right, and then the customer account request, administrative request, it would take key information out of this form, and it will put it in a service request, which I'm going to show you. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and put the design mode, and it goes out to this form here. Okay. Now in this form here, take out the filter. What's this? Okay, yeah. I had to delete a lot of information out of here. Okay, so this customer account administrator request. What's this? Okay, and I'm going to see if I can pull up that record, but I'm quite sure I emptied the table because I did something not that I shouldn't have done, but let's see here. This right here, property sheet. Okay, it's not something I shouldn't have done, but what happened is that um, I was pulling too much information. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna look at this table, right? Right. Look at this table. Oh, that's not the table. What the heck? That's not the table. Okay, I'm gonna look at. Oh yeah, I'm gonna look at that table and look at this table, and I'm gonna look at this table. Okay, and we're gonna basically we're just gonna talk our way through these different things. Okay, make sure where the table at. Make sure this table is already in here already. So we're gonna look at this table, put in design view, and we also gonna look at this table here. Okay, these are two tables we'll be looking at. Right now, doing the whole process, okay, which we have this table, right, and we have this table because these are two tables. Okay, the service group admin. Make sure this is the same table. Service groups admin. Okay, these are the two tables that we are looking at. Okay, but then design view. All right. So, the thing is, in this whole process, check this right. In this whole process is number one, we're gonna find out how are we linking up this data. All right. So we're gonna go here and go here, and we're gonna talk through exactly what we want to see. All right. So in this particular table here, all right, we have the record and we have some of the information that we need. Okay, because what it did in this particular form here, okay, and we go back to this form, and like I didn't want to push the button because this button here, because I was still trying to figure out exactly the queries or the event, um, the macro that I actually developed through this. Okay, so the first thing I wanted this to do was to append, all right, the data, the necessary data that we needed into the service group table. Okay, which it did. All right. So we're looking at the table. All right. Close this out. Um, and we want to make sure there's no conflicts in this. So we're going to look at the query. Okay. And we want to make sure that that information is in place. Okay. And we want to make sure that there's no conflicts in this append. So we're going to look at the query. Okay. Because we only want to grab the information that's, prevalent to this particular form. So once we identify that, and you got to understand is that we only want to grab the information, okay, that's pertaining to that record. And we don't want any duplicates, all right, okay? So we want to make sure that if we create a record, we do not want to continue to add a different record for every time we pull something out of this record, okay? We make changes. If we make changes, all right, we want the changes to go update the table, but we want the new change to go into a history table, all right? Whereas every time we click save, it'll save the record in this table, but it will also take a shot of the change and put it into a history table. Okay, so we can go back and look and say, okay, this table, this record was changed. This was changed in this table. Why did you change this? Or why did you do this? Or why you did that? Okay, now there should be a certain time when the record is locked, where once you have completed the service request form, okay, and it's pushed back um, to the project manager to move forward on a project to talk to that client, you can no longer use that order number. You have to utilize the customer number. So if I, if I click, go back. So if I click this button, all right, and an order number exists, all right, on this form, okay, um, it will create a new service request. You understand what I'm talking about? If they push this button, okay, and key information in this form have already been, uh, um, has already been initiated under the order number, it will create a whole new request. So, and it will, any updates that's in this form here, it would include that information in the service request. Okay, but we have to make sure that the field that we're utilizing is based on the next level of service. Okay, so if this customer, right, and I'm gonna go back to the form. Okay, if this customer record, all right, let me go back. Okay, click on this. Okay, so if this order number exists, right, and it's been assigned a project manager and this and that, um, and let's assume one of these approvals is something other than these things here, um, it will. We wanted to display a message saying that, um, do you want to submit a new request? Okay, service request. If they say no, it because they cannot see once the service um, administrative service team, um, you know, do certain things to this record. All right, let me go back to this record here or this form. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, form view. Okay, and we'll go back to this record again. Go here. Okay, so this is a record, and if this record exists, all right, if this record exists, and like I said, I'm doing this right here, and there's no filter, filtered. Okay, so and this record exists. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, okay, this record ID. All right, because see, this is ID here. This is the order number. All right, and even though this record they submitted a request in this table, okay, we're going to look at this. So it says ID number 6. All right, but the problem, okay, that's submitting is going to this field here. All right, so we're going to utilize this record, okay, and this is where we're going to push it back to, the other team. Now, what happens that the reason why I was doing this because I had to delete a couple of records because it was just, the table was all screwed up, and that's just trial and error. Like I said, this is all test data, but all this information is in here, okay, and this is every record that we start off with project number, sequence, and set sequence. We would change this, okay, because this is not what we're going to push back to this customer. All right, okay, because when we get ready when we send this information out, um, all this is going to change. Okay, this would be sequence 2, and everything else. Okay, so that's the reason why that's like that. Okay, this right here is this default. All right, so and none of this other information exists. All right, customer counts started. Okay, so we want to do, all right, account administrator started. So we want to do, right, we want to go back out to the administrative request and we want to make sure everything lines up. All right, so number one, we look at this and say, okay, does this customer have a service request number? Right, that's the first thing. Okay, needs to be identified, right? Service request number. So it doesn't have a service request number. All right. Now, what I want to do is create a service request. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign this order number to a service request. Now, before I do that, I want to make sure that the information that I need is in the service request. Okay. Now, what it is that, okay, since we control the service requests internally, as we expand outward, these service requests will be controlled by a different team, all right, our technical team. But since we are implementing this and still testing this whole process, we have created a service request and we select the number, okay, based on the service request. All right. So we're going to create a service request and hopefully it doesn't error. Okay. All right. So what it does, it updates the table, the service request number table, and make sure that that service request is not given to any other ticket other than the ticket that is inside of this table. Okay. Right. So now it's about to update the table so that this service request is now attached to this request under this order number. Okay. Now we run another update query to let the customer know that we have submitted that request and push that request on to the next team. All right. So since that service request is already in the table, it's not going to do any more updates. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do here, okay, the next thing we'll be doing is saving this service request. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to save the service request. All right. Now what we're going to do here, we're going to go back into the design view, right, in both forms. All right. And what I want to do, I want to look into the table. Okay. And I want to see if that information has been updated in this table. Now, it shows here that we have implemented that request. Now, we have put that record number inside of this table, all right, which is project ID, all right. That is letting us know that we're going to be moving forward with this request. And in this particular request here, once this record has been implemented, okay, this table will initiate the build, okay, with this record once this is implemented, okay. So that's once we start doing the project listing, all right. And this is going to be basically part of our historical table, all right, which I will show you the table later. Okay, so we're going to go down some more. Okay, here. So now we see that the service request has been set. The number has been used. The service request was implemented. Service project group ID. We haven't implemented that. Service request project number. There's no project number. Service project group number. We haven't did that yet. What's this? Okay, all this right here deals with the project itself. Okay, project request. Okay, we haven't did that yet. None of that has been submitted yet for the project number. New pending account. We haven't done that yet because of the fact that it's associated with the project as this time. There's no fiscal information, project information. There's no project number, corp information, a corp ID, anything like that, because it's not associated with anything. Okay. There's no project approval. Like I said, we have a service group number here. Okay, group name will be customer accounts. Okay, and a service agreement. Okay, it's not started. There's no service agreement. All this other information should be basic blank. Department name, consulting department. That's what it was attached to. Department name, subsection, consultant team. And here we have, it's in Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay, make sure everything's in place. There's an order number. Okay, project, task. Okay, this is the development, as we know, it's been tested. Okay, and then we have administrator. Okay, service project group name, account administrator, right? So like everything is good. Here it says pre-approved project not authorized. Project funding status not funded. And account type, all right, there's no account type at this particular time. Type of sub-account, there's none at this time. No order number. This is right here is order number action. Oh, where is it? Okay, order number action. No order number. No order number assigned. Okay, and you may say, well, why? Why is the order number not assigned? Okay, because we haven't started. We didn't do anything on the table yet. Okay, we didn't do anything, so no order number assigned. So, but if we go back into the, if we go back into this request here, go back to form. All right, and we want to go to the record that we actually dealing with, right? So this is a record, right? So there's a, it's a type request, new customer number. Should be a drop down box somewhere. This. Um, Service project group, account administrator, here. Resolution, next step. I haven't put this information here yet. Okay, so, and that's gonna be the next part. Okay, that's gonna be the next step that we're gonna be doing. All right, so we're not gonna worry about that right now. Okay, so before I actually move this request forward, like I say the request, submit a request, create a service request task, or escalate to the next level of management, anything like that, we need to look at these buttons and make sure it's impacting the right table and the right information is actually being deployed out. Okay, so assign approval, we got to make sure, like it says, next step, all these things. We want to make sure when we put these things in here, it says service request assigned to, we got the name, uh, you know, and then we have, there isn't a resolution at this time. The next step, we can say in process, pending customer, or waiting sign off, completed, whatever. And we need to associate these things with the consultant or project manager, right? Service request status, and you can say in build, none, testing account, verifying customer info, information. I don't know why they just, that was just too much information. Okay, it is what they call it, trim that. Okay, awaiting approval on hold, user account request, awaiting sign off, negotiation completed, closed. All these things have to have a trigger. Okay, that does something, right? Okay, so that's it for this stage. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and look at some couple other things on the service level, and then I'm going to start the second session of the service request training. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing, we need to do an update, okay, to the, not only to the customer accounts table, but we also need to do an update to the service group's admin table, okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to the document, okay, and we have looked and seen that there have been no updates to this table other than what we've done today. So there's a couple of key factors we need to do, which we're going to look into right now. Okay. One of the things is that any updates done to this table will have to reflect, okay, the information in this table. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a query, okay, update query based on this number. Okay, so we're going to update this table, right, with this number. We're going to look at the table, right? Go back to beginning. It's a record ID. We're going to update this table based on this name, this table. Okay, and what we're going to do is we want to make sure, All right, the service group ID is inserted here. All right, so we're going to pull one record first in that query. All right, so the first thing we want to do, we're going to update, we're going to pull this number down, right? And we're going to do is make sure that the data is there, okay? And actually what I can do, I can pull all this information out and delete what I don't need, okay? So we're going to do, go all the way down, come on now, what's up? We need to go all the way down, because we want to see what exactly we have here, okay? And we're just going to run this query, okay? Oh no, okay, let's update. We're not doing updates, so select, run this query. Okay, so we see here that there's no data associated in this table with these two match, right? Okay, which is good. All right, so we're going to do, again, we're going to do an update, right? And the update, okay, is going to be based on this table. All right, what's in this table? I'm going to run this data again. And we're going to go ahead and select it. I'm going to run it query. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we'll be updating this table based on a factor, right? And what I'm going to do is by design view. All right. And we're just running it based on the ID, which that's not going to happen. Okay. It has to be this number. Okay. This ID had to reflect with what is in here. All right, so let's run a query again. All right, so there's the record. Okay. All right, so that's the record. And what we're doing is we're going to update this table, right, to whatever this is. Now, we know that this is the pending factor here, right? So we're going to be doing update, updating this table, right, to whatever is in here, right? So let me go ahead and stretch a lot of this information out. Like I said, again, a lot of information we're not going to use. And we have to be very careful, right, what we're trying to do. Okay, so, and we're going to use this as a rule, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure this data matches what's in this table. So we're going to look at the customer table again. Okay, and we know this is record number 11, right? Okay, but we're going to be utilizing this where this ID matches, okay, this ID in both tables. Okay, well, this ID matches this ID. Okay, so let's go do it. ID matches the ID. Okay, which we have, right? So we know we're utilizing this table. This right here, got this where criteria is Let's see. Okay, I don't think I need to put equal in, but I'm gonna say TMPT MPTBL Master SER Service Admin, right? Okay. So we're gonna make sure that. So I'm gonna go back to the query, okay, and it's going to be ID, right? Well, yeah, ID dot ID, okay. So we want to pull this table where this ID, right, which we've seen in here, okay, is right here. Project listing ID 1B, okay, all right, matches this project ID 1B. Okay, so this right here, ID 1B matches this. Okay, so we're going to do again. We're going to do a select. We're going to run it. Okay, design. So make sure this is right. So I make sure is it now ID 1B. Again, make sure I got this right here. So we have listing ID 1B and listing ID 1B. Okay, that's what I did wrong. So we're doing project listing ID 1B. And we want to match, when we pulling, we want to make it match the project ID 1B. PR, this right here. Okay, pull it, run the query again, see what happens. Okay, there's the record. Okay, this is a record we updating. So we have to put that information in here. Okay, so I can save this query. All right, we'll save this query, and now we're going to start putting in our data. Right. All right. Now the thing is, what data we're going to be putting in. Okay. Now we're going to go back to we're going to go back to this table. Oh, excuse me. Go back to this table, and first thing we're going to need to do is um, we need to take that 11, okay, and put new pending account ID here, right? So we need to take this 1B, okay, listing 1B, all right, in here, and move it to the new pending account in the customer table. So let's go new pending project ID 1B. Okay, project ID 1B. So this is already here, right? I'm gonna up this table. Copy this. Do an update. Update this to 1B. Okay. So if I run this, but I'm not going to run it. Okay. So it's going to update that. So that is telling us that this is a new pending account, right? And a lot of this information is based on, there's no project number ID, manual build ID, none of that stuff there. Service group ID. Okay. So we got to go down here. Service group ID. Okay, service group ID, right? Service group ID, that's going to be service group ID. So we're going to go back here. Look at this. Is there a service group ID associated with this table? And for this row? Oh, so we know that that service group ID is going to go into here. Okay. Corp ID. If there's a corp ID associated with it. And the service group ID, all those different things. I think the service group number ID, service group. So we're going to go back to the query. I know this seems a little tedious, but you have to be able to do these things. Okay. So we have to look at the table and see if that data exists. We don't want to put any information in it that doesn't have those things. Okay. So the corp ID, because there's 1, 2, 3, which it do not have at this time. 1, 2, 3. The corp ID is basically, let's look at it, and then we may not even be at that point yet. And I think the corp ID is based on and we're going to go look at it. The corp ID is based on the customer accounts. Okay. Account build. We're going to go into this part and service group admin. Okay. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look for in this document corp ID. Okay. CORP ID. Okay. So we're looking for corporate account ID, and we want to know where it is. Okay. So we're gonna get corporate account ID. No matches. So this corporate account ID. That to be a corporate account ID. Because everything is based on the corporate account ID. But we can put that in there later. Okay. And I'm going to look at the form itself. And see if we put a corporate account ID in there. Okay. So we can go back here. And I think the corporate account ID has something to do with This is the corporate account ID. And I think that's got something to do with the project itself. So we're going to look at this. I don't think there's a corporate ID at this level. Okay, not on the customer table. Okay, now all that probably happened after the fact, after we um, create the customer. All right, and the customer has accepted the terms of our services, and then that's when the customer corp ID comes in. But the designated factor, as far as us working with that customer, will be done on a service request. So I would look at this, see, because right here has a corporate ID, right? So I'm gonna go to the app. I'm gonna go back to the form. What's the format? I'm gonna go back to the form, and I'm gonna see is there a designation for the corporate account ID, corporate level status. Nope, there's no corporate account ID associated with this ticket, and I know there's no corporate account ID associated with the other form because, like I say, it's not being sponsored at this time. Okay, so we're going to skip the corporate account ID. Okay, so there will be no corporate account ID at this level being updated on this form. Okay, because there's no corporate account. Well, there's a corporate account. See, there's a corporate account in this. Okay, there's a corporate account here, but it's not being designated at this level, if you know what I'm talking about. And we can actually look at the table itself to see. Okay, look at groups. This is the table, and let's see if they have a corporate account ID. And it shouldn't have a corporate account ID. No department ID. Mm-mm. There's no corporate account ID associated with this record right now. Not at this level. There's no corporate account ID at this level because they haven't been assigned. Because they have to go to the customer accounts record, and then at the particular time, they would assign that ID. And the corporate account ID is specify exactly where it is. So there's no ID associated with this. Okay. But in the form, it's nothing designated. Okay. You have, it's not even assigned yet. Okay. Um, corporate officer corporate account, off corporate account, enter. Yeah, we haven't assigned it a destination yet. Okay. It has not been even assigned a destination. Okay. So it's not going to be updated until after we assign that customer to a project. All right, when it's funded. So we can't even take credit for this account as of yet. Okay, so going to the next part. On the update, okay, we don't need a corporate account ID because, like I said, it's not being used at this level. Office ID is not being used. What about group name ID? Okay, see, there's a group name ID in here. Okay, we have, let me go back. We got a service request number is already there because we're not going to update that. I don't think is a service group number associated in this particular form. Service group ID. Oh yeah, yes it is. So the service group number is going to be put in there. I think I already have that. Already the service group ID. Update service group ID. Okay, yeah, service group ID. Okay, so that's going to update that. Group name ID. Is there a group name associated with this? There's no group name. Okay, that's because all it's going to be in here. Look at this table. Is there a group name associated with this? No corporate ID, corporate ID. No corporate office ID. And as we said, the reason why there's no ID because this is an initial stage. We're just talking to that customer. We got a service group ID, right? But we don't have a group name ID, right? We don't have a group name ID or group name. Okay, it was a self-explanatory. All right, so we go on to the next part of the query. Okay, an update statement. We bypass all of this. Okay, group name, there's no group name, and then we have a data call, right? So do we have a data call in here? Look for a data call. And I think the data call in the client side was different than a service request. Because I think the data call would be basically the date they actually got the ticket. But we're going to see. Date service of request. Could that be a date service of request? Okay, data call. But I think the data call is actually the date they called us and the time. So I don't think that has anything to do with follow-up date time. So we want to say um, all this information here is irrelevant right now because I don't think we have this. I don't think we have the consultant information here. I don't think so. Okay. Consultant rep name. And based on this, just give like what we're doing right now, what we're doing in this whole scenario with the service request ticket. We're trying to get as much information from the customer, the service rep, and the the client-based service group that's initiating this whole act. We want to make sure that information is being transferred back and forth, okay, until it goes to the next step, all right? And then that's when we start creating a historical record. So right now, I'm just trying to make sure the person that's making the call information is in here. Project group name, account manager name. Let's see, service project group name. Cause that I know that's going here, but I don't think it's really initiating on this level here. Which it should, but we're not putting that information in there. Customer last name. Yeah, okay. So, okay. All right. So none of that information is relevant. So I'm going to take that out. So we know, okay, so in this whole process here, because we want to take the information out that is not prevalent to this um, query, right? So we know this is not necessary in this query. Okay, we can go here, go down some more. Um, we know the build to, right? That's dealing with the project itself. We take that out. Um, new cover, new customer ID, so we know that's going to be fulfilled, right? Um, manual build ID that we haven't got to that point yet, so we don't have to worry about that, right? Project number requests, we're not at the project number request at this point, right? Service group, right? We got the service group ID and the group name ID. Okay, so we have the group name ID here, and we have the group ID name here. All right, so the point is, did we put in a group name? Which we didn't because it's not assigned to the group. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not assigned to the group. So how can but I still want to look at the form, okay, to make sure that information is there. So it says service group ID, all right, but there isn't any service group ID here because this is the table we actually updated. So we look at this table. Okay, so we want to see, we got the service request number. All right. Now, what we can do, and this is just something that I can utilize. All right. But I'm gonna do that later. I do all that later. I'm not gonna try to start messing with that. So we have the service request number, right? That's that need to be service group name, service group ID, which would be the service number. Okay, so do we have it in here? Go back to the query. So we know that information is already there. Okay, so that's it. Service group ID, and service group ID, group name ID, and service group name. So there's a group name ID. Okay, we got a group name ID here. So I'm gonna look in here and see there's a group name ID associated with this table. Nope, there's no group name ID, and there's no group name. Okay, so but we do want to look at the fact that in here we just see their group name or group name ID. Okay, so there's no group name ID associated with this table. No group name and no group name ID. All right. So we want to delete that out of here. So we know we're not using a group name ID. We're doing an update statement. Okay, we're not doing a group name ID and we're not doing a group name. So we take this out because it's not relevant to this particular instance. We can always do other updates and stuff like that if it's, associated with this particular project, but we're not going to do that. We go down some more, and the data call on this particular one is when they called us. Okay, and then we had a time. This is not what we need. We don't need this, and we don't need the time. Okay, because we're not going to update this record based on that. Okay, take this out. Now, follow up date and time. All right, this right here is not associated with the follow up date and time in this table because the follow up time is associated with the service group ID information. Okay, so we would actually have to look at the ticket to see if there's anything that we can, we have to go back to the service and say, okay, is that follow up time? Okay, so we have to go back to the service request to see if they're, that they look at the ticket, or the last time they look at the ticket, or the updates, anything like that, in the customer app, um, worksheet. That information is not going to be there. We have to go to this particular form to see what's going on. Okay, so follow up, date and time. We're not going to use that. Okay, consultant rep name. Okay, now this is going to be the tricky part. So we need to find out. Now, I can concatenate this information and put it inside of that, but when you moving it around, how would that affect that the table? Okay, going back and forth like that. Okay, because if I use it, I'm gonna use it one time. All right, you understand? I don't want to be doing the concatenation because these are macros. And when you try moving stuff around like that, it start interpreting information differently. So I'm not going to do any concatenation to this. So even if I did see the person's name, if the information that I'm looking at doesn't correspond to what I'm talking about, I'm just going to bypass it. Excuse me, I'm going to bypass it. Now, look at that consultant rep name. Okay, we're not gonna mess with this because this right here is something that we're not gonna be bothered with. All right, at this stage. Okay, because as we work the project based on the customer number, right, we will do another query that will pull the information based on what's going on, and we'll send it back to a message associated with that client. We'll send it an email, whatever it is, let them know the status. Okay, and that's a whole new different level of planning. Okay, so the customer rep name. Um, and I'm trying to make sure that the information that I have and the information I'm trying to display is somewhat, you know, it's usable. Because if you put something there that's not usable across multiple domains, and that's why I don't want to use concatenation. All right, because when you start using concatenation, and let's say you try to move it from one field to another, and it doesn't recognize that whole set, it's gonna throw an error. So I don't even see a rep's name in here. project is in there. Project funding status, project edition, type of account, order number, action. We're not moving that. Okay, I don't think that we will be updating. We probably can order number action, but let's find this first. We'll get to that later. But I don't think that information is in here. Okay, employee last name, first name, and this is what I was talking about here, right? But let me see. Go here, which I don't think is really prevalent to what's going on. Okay, so it's not using this here. Delete this. Delete this. Delete this. Because we're not going to be updated. Purpose of call. We're not going to do this because that's something in that table that's unique to that table. Okay, description of call. That's unique to this table. Order number. The order number should always be the order number in this table. We're not going to change the order number in this table right here because that'll mess everything up. Okay, so we're not doing the order number. We're not the order number action. Let's look at this. Now, let me see. Let me see the order number action here. Because if there is an order number action, the order number action in this table has to be unique to what this table is trying to convey to the request itself. Does that make any sense? Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the table. Okay. Or should I say I should go back to the form itself. Okay, I'm going to go back to the form itself. I'm going to look at the form, right? And I want to see, and I'm going to go to the record itself. What happened to it? Okay. So now, okay, they have this right here: marketing team, department, marketing, location, branch, project number, which we have no information of on. The department ID, we don't have that yet because it's not really something that's prevalent to what's going on. The manager approval, short description of this, service project group name, service request assigned to. We don't have that information yet. Solution, service provider status. Okay. All right. Request transfer to. Okay, that's it. I don't think we'll be doing anything else to this. Really, I don't. I don't think we'll be doing anything else to this tape. I think that's it. Because I'm gonna look at this right here. I don't see anything else in this whole process. So I don't see. I see action, account action, but in this form, there's no account action in this whole process here. Okay, so um, there's no account action, and there's no account. Well, I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay, because I can do something else. Employee ID, PM, employee last name, detail, description, request, which we put in there. They have to go out here and look at that themselves. So request date, end date, resolution, service, status, all this information here will be done under different circumstances. Okay, so go down, and that's it. So I don't see anything else that we can use unless we create another form that put that information in. Other than that, they're going to have to go to the service request screen and look for it. Okay, because all we're doing, we update the information with that. Okay, now let's get this table updated first. Okay, like I said, we're going to always update this with something else, but all this information we have here has nothing to do with what we're trying to do. Okay, so we're going to come out here. Um, we're not putting any information here because it's not even prevalent to this ticket. Okay, we don't even care. You know, all this other stuff they're doing. Okay, got order number action. So we're gonna move all this out. Okay. The only thing I see us doing really, we not gonna mess with the create date. Now the create date could be pertaining to. No, we're not gonna mess with that. Okay. We'll delete this. We'll delete, but oh, here it is. Delete. Okay, update date. Okay, and we'll put now, right? And we'll do this. And the time, and who we want to say updated this record. Okay, it's going to be customer account requests. Okay, business operations service. So we're going to say business operations, right? So I'm going to put this in design view, and the team that actually will be upgraded is business operations account services, customer accounts administrative requests. Right? Customer accounts administrative requests. Business service, okay. Okay, that's what we're doing. All right, and as we updated about that, that is who will be doing the update, right? So I'll put this here, this in here in the middle, boom. All right, I would put a period, but I'm not gonna do that. All right, Okay, so it's a business operations account services. Account services. Put the S on there. All right. So, and the criteria where this ID equals this ID, right? And I'm gonna say this criteria where forms. Because I'm gonna go back here. Look at this. Where is it? So it's gonna be where. All right. And it had to be the form itself, right? So this update. Okay, so I'm gonna open this form up right here. Okay. So the first thing that is going to have to happen is that this has to be associated with this particular form, right? And be associated with this order number, right? Only. So it had to be the forms ID, right? Forms ID. So this form ID form form. So I gotta make it bigger. So we're looking at this form ID order number. This is 6, right? Right. This is 6. What's this? This is 11. Okay. 6 and that. This is 6. So you're taking this ID and putting it where? You put the ID. This ID. So we're doing this and this. So this ID, and that's the record. But that's the record. That's not nothing. So pending account. The thing is, do I want to do that? So this is 6. Project listing build. There's no build ID in here associated with this, so we don't have to worry about that. But this is 6. All right. And in the table, this is we putting 6. We updating. What we doing? We updating. Okay, we put this here, right? And client, and should I put this ID here? This is 11. And this is 11. Both of them is 11. Okay, that's 11. can put this here. 6 new pending account ID. Okay, so I'm gonna say new pending account ID. See, that's a new pending account ID, which I think I did, which would be, so the ID here, okay, so I'm putting the new pending account ID. Nah, that has nothing to do with this ticket right here. Okay, so this one, the criteria is going to be where this ID equals this ID. Okay, all I can do is look at it. Since both of the IDs are the same, it's ID. So this is 6. This has nothing to do with that. So this number, half out headed 1B, 1B. So this group number, because I'm updating this group number here. Alright, have to equal this group number here. Okay, so I think that's what it was, right? This thing, okay. Right? And one, two things happen. It's going to fail or not. Okay, so, but the form itself, okay, this ID, so I say ID here. Maybe I can look at it again, man. So it's a worksheet ID. So this is 11. And this is 6. So this, consolidating this table with this. No, this. So I'm going to say new account ID. So this account, I'm pushing that. This PB1. So P1. And this is the same. So where are we putting the ID at? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because that form number 6, which doesn't exist here anymore. I'm looking for 6. So this right here. Oh, we updating this. So I can say 6 here. Right? I can put 6 there. Can I put 6 there? I can put 6 here. Listing. Project listing build ID. Listing build ID. Project listing build ID. Project listing build ID. Say project listing build ID. So we got project listing build ID. take the ID here, put a project listing build ID. Listing build ID. Okay. Listing build ID. Okay. I take the service group and put a project listing build ID. Project listing. New pending. Let me see. Oh, let me see. Yeah, project listing. I put it here. I put this ID into project listing build ID. Listing build ID. The client. So I put the ID. Listing build ID. Copy. Listing build ID. So pending PBD. So can I do both at the same time? I don't think I can. So I got this one. Update the prompt listing build ID. What's this? And you got this. What's this? This ID. Build ID. So, well, this criteria. Oh, that's criteria. And this is criteria. So I can say and what can I say? Okay, I might can do it. I might can do it. Let me see. Let me equal. Forms. F-A-R. Forms. Forms. Equal form. Form. C-U-S-T. Ace. Count admin. ID. Okay. Because, see, the situation is, because once you put it, the order number, maybe I need to say order number. What is order number? Order number. See, the orders is not there. See, because once I update this table, once I make the pin to the table, any updates have to match the here, and the next will be the order number. Okay, and I want this order number to match. Order number. Okay. And so I'm gonna save this. Okay, so to save. So now that's this. So update that. But see, what I was doing on this one, I was in the service group. So change the update service group for the query. Service group. Okay. I'm gonna update this. I'm changing the name. Update this table. Update this. Oh, come on now. This. Update this from this. This from this. Okay. Okay, so this is service group. Okay, so all we're doing is updating this, right? I'm changing the name. Okay, so let me do that. So minus what it is minus save minus rename. Okay, come back, paste. Okay, I'm gonna take this, copy. We go into this form. We're gonna take this form, right? And we're gonna say save. management of the service. The service has been saved. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to say open query. Open query. Okay. Okay. Edit. And then we're going to close. We're going to close. Window. Type. Query. Object name. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna say prompt. Okay. Edit. Edit. Okay. If there's not now, then let's say else. Okay. I ain't do a rollback, so okay, that's this. Okay. So okay. Okay, so that is that. I know it took long and I needed to address this whole situation. So we're going to look at it and see exactly, okay, I'm going to run it and see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, um, this record is already up. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I might need to close this first. I'm going to open this record right here, form view. Okay, and we're going to see what type of error message I get, if it gets error message. Then we're going to go back to the table. Uh, Back up. Let's go to back up. Why is it doing that? Okay. I hope it didn't do what I thought it did. Let's see. Forms. Let's see here. Query update. Let's see. Okay. Design view. Save this. Okay, and we're going to go back. All right, and we're going to look at this form here. I know I had a lot going on, so we go to this form here. It forced me to do a backup. I don't know, something must be airing out. Design view. If it does, then I got to go back in, but I won't be doing today. So go here, open form view. Okay, and I should be looking to see if that form was saved though. That out there. So go to my record. Okay, this is my record. All right, I want to go here. All right. Um, record. Um, which it said it did save it, but it didn't save it. Okay, because there's only 2 records in here, right? There's this one, right, and there's this one. So, uh, why did it try to save 2 records? I have no idea. Unfiltered. So this is a record. I put all this information in here. All the information is in here. See, you'll have an update date. Make sure you got all the information here that I needed. It's not like everything is in here. There's a search request number. What I'm going to do is save request. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the form view. Go back to design view. I'm going to look at this particular form here. Okay. This is what this is. Go ahead and go to design view. And what I want to do is I want to look at the table. I'm more interested in what the table looks like after I did that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back into this table, right? Over to this table. I did a lot of changes, so I guess the system's kind of like, what the hell are you doing? Design view. Look at here. This is it. Okay. This is this. They didn't put the new pending account in here. Okay. I'm gonna go back to this, and I'm going to look at this table. Okay, so I'm looking at something. Okay, it didn't update the table. It didn't update this table for some reason. Okay, so look at this. Go to design view. Okay, so what it did, it added another table record, right? And did that, 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 did that. It added another record, which it wasn't supposed to do. So it was basically supposed to be so team. You got 2 records that are the same, which it wasn't supposed to do for a reason. Okay. Now the only thing I was supposed to do is supposed to put that in the record. So I'm gonna close this out again. It wasn't supposed to add a new record line at all. Okay. But maybe that's based on my query itself. Right. So what I'm gonna do again, I'm gonna look at this query. I need to figure out why it added that extra record. So one thing I said that ID matches this ID. Okay, the forms ID. So I said when I did my save, this form ID, right, had to match. That's why. Yeah, this when I did my save, my form ID had to match whatever's in here. Okay, so that was the criteria. And we look down some more because it was something else. I don't know, maybe a conflict. Okay, and order number had to be this. Order number had to match this order number. Form ID had to match whatever's in this table. Okay, so close this query out. close this out. I'm gonna open this form up again. And if there's an issue, I'm just gonna have to go back in it and try to figure out why I did that, you know. So, but I'm not gonna go too deep into it right now because it's getting late. Okay, so this is a record. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, um, go ahead and say custom account. It shouldn't even pen nothing. Okay, because some of the fact that there was nothing for it to pen. All right, this is now it's saying there's 3 records. All right, so in this table, for some reason, it's updating. It's it's creating 2 records for some reason, which I figured that out. Right, so all right, so whatever the reason why I did that. So when I go back here, right, and I say save, okay, when I say save, it's supposed to save this record in the table. So maybe this here is supposed to have been closed, right? So I'm gonna save it again and see what happens. Submit request. Okay, that's good too. So that's this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, go back to the customer service screen, go here. Okay, this is a record, which is good. Okay, so everything's okay. Go to 2, 3. And what I'm gonna do is, yeah, see something else going on here. Oh, okay, so we got two databases up at the same time. I'm frozen. We got 2 databases up. Why it has 2 databases running at the same time? Okay, so we have this. I'm gonna look for one thing. Okay, so the only thing it's supposed to be updating is the where server request number. Let me go back to see my update. Go back to here. Look at this. This query. This update statement. See why is I know I got too much going on. So all these requirements. So um, let me do this. What's this? Yeah, I think that's the reason why, because it's doing too much. Take this out. I don't even need this. Okay, so yeah, so I took that out. So did I do that right? I hope that's what I did. Okay, so I think let me run this. Oh, this. So one, it didn't update. Have that. So this owner record is supposed to be updated. Was this one? Which is good. It added subsequently added these other records for whatever reason. See, I don't know why they added these records. Okay, and save. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna open this to close this up. I had to delete those records because they was pretty much screwed up. Okay, so um, back to here, and I'm gonna go back to my form. The form that's initially supposed to be doing all of the things I want to do, but the form that I need to be working on is this right here. Okay, let's see what this works. Okay, form view. Yeah, it's the form. Something's going on with the form. Yeah. Okay. So I got all this. They save. All right. Then I say submit request. So when I save it by design view, now I'm gonna go back to this table. The table should have my changes in it. This table here. And maybe when I open it up, it's supposed to close the other table, other form. I don't know. So we're gonna look at this design view. Service group ID. Still didn't do what I wanted to do. Okay, the order number's in there. Order number's now in there. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the order number's in there. So all the other information wasn't really relevant. There's no group name and nothing like that, but it didn't update the service group ID number. Okay, it didn't update that. And why is it that? Why did it update that? Service group ID. And which is nothing in there. Greg Harris. Okay. Not build. There's no count number. None. Project not active. What is Z? This is no X, Y, Z. Okay, when was this updated? Look at the update date. That's what I'm more concerned about. It's not putting update. It's not doing update date. Okay, so close this out. Save. Go back to this form. I should go back to here. And go back to here. Because this is where evidently we're having a problem. Okay. Close this out. Go back to the form. Design view. And look at this. Save button. Event. What's going on this right when I save it? It didn't run my update statement at all. So close this. No, it didn't say, it didn't run my update statement. So I think this whole right here. So it's trying to save the record. So it's not no. Then I'm gonna say open query. Put this up, right? And the query I want to open. So maybe I need to save the record first. Query. Then let me do this. If I do this, if it's not now, then save record. We gotta save record. Save record. Okay. Then I wanted to open window. Open query. Save record. Save record. Okay, then I want to open query. Query name. The query name. Oh, that's the query name. So query name is and make sure I look at that too. If there's any gaps in there, let me see. Maybe the query is too long. Maybe that's what it is. I meant to do that. Maybe it's too long. I don't know. That's a long ass motherfucker right there. So I'm gonna have to I changed the whole save, append, save, update shit. So I just say query update. So whatever's happening, man, is confusing the mess out of this thing here. Make sure I can really see that. Oh my goodness. What was it? I'm gonna put a double comment there. Okay, let me try this again. Let's see. Let's see. Rename. Close back here. No, that's not it. That's it. What is this? This is when I say save request. I don't know what the fuck this is. know why I needed that. Close. Okay, so go back. Man, okay, so go back to this table again. Where the table at, man? I'm running out of. All I want to do is just run this query. I'm doing something, and plus I think I'm just kind of like exhausted. Okay, okay, so okay, okay. So I want to go to this table. Man, I want to go back to this. And I just want to see if it updated this table. Okay. Because this is a table that's supposed to have updated. So I'm just going to look at this line view here. This the record. Okay, there we got it. All right, it updated this table. Okay. Um, okay. All right, so what it did, it updated this table. It took this, it put this 6 here. Everything is based on the form. I think I had something mixed up. So it did what it's supposed to do. I'm gonna look at the. There's none of this, none of that. Probably not funded. Go back here. None of this, none selected. Okay, there's no phase. None of that, none of that, none of that. Okay, you have that. Okay, everything's there. Um, okay, got a EIN number there. This right here, number, that. Um, None of that information is there. This has nothing to do with the department yet. We haven't got to that stage. And there, manager approval. There's my name. Assign the project is my name. Dickerson. There you go. Project group name. That's haven't been established yet. Service request for the project that hasn't been established yet, so we don't have to worry about that. It's a request number because it's down here, right? Right. Service group ID. Okay. Which is right there. All right. So got that. haven't got to that point yet. That's me. And we're going to go all the way down. And there's the update. Boom. Hey, it worked. Okay, so it worked. That was taxing. Okay. All right. So basically, what I'm gonna do is do a closing. Okay, and um, like I said, this is all notes. Okay, anything like that. So it was nothing really major. It's just paying attention to detail and trying to work out your issues to make sure the things you need done is done. Okay. Other than that, I got it at work. The service request is in. The customer record has been updated. All I have to do now is go through the process of initiating, going through the next phase as far as get in touch with the project manager and going through the project managing phase. Okay. Now, once that phase is completed, and that phase would be basically communicating with the customer, finding out what the customer want. We will come up with some type of scenario and stuff like that based on what we already have, and start looking for funding. Okay, that's going to be the next phase of the project. Looking for funding so that we can negotiate a cost. All right, which we're going to a couple of factoring. That may take a little bit longer, but I'm thinking that everything will work out pretty good. Okay. Wow, that was something. Okay. All right. Peace. Have a wonderful evening.